Let's take a look at everything I made in the month of March. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamlyn and this is Sewn on the Tyne, and I'm here today to share with you everything that I got sewn up in the month of March. March was quite a busy month. If you remember back to my March plans, they were quite ambitious. I had quite a lot going on, but I'm really pleased with the progress that I have made, and I have sewn up most of the things from my plans video, so I'm delighted with that. Let's get started. These aren't going to be in the order in which I've made them. In fact, the first thing I'm going to show you is the last thing that I made, which was yesterday on the very last day of March. So this is a very bright, very bold, very colourful Jessie tee by True Bias. So if you did watch my March plans, you may remember that I had it in my plans to make this t-shirt as part of the Sew Frugal challenge. However, it was a different fabric that I had in mind. I do still want to make the Jessie out of that fabric. However, when I was having a little look through my fabric stash yesterday, I came across this remnant. This was a leftover piece of fabric from a previous project, and I just thought, why not make the Jessie out of this first, and then I can go on to using other fabrics, which are new fabrics or fabrics that I only have a small amount of and I don't want to risk. So I decided to go ahead and make it out of this. So let's talk about the Jessie tee first of all. So the Jessie tee, like I said, is a True Bias pattern, and it's a free pattern that you receive when you sign up to their newsletter. It comes in their two different size bandings, so it comes in a 0 to 18 and also a 14 to 32 size range. It's described as a relaxed fit t-shirt which comes in two lengths. So you've got view A, which is a cropped t-shirt and is designed to end around the natural waist, and then you've got view B, which is a full length t-shirt and should come just below the hip. It's an oversized style. It's got a dropped shoulder, a wide crew neckline, and the sleeves are designed to finish just above the elbow. With it being a t-shirt, it's designed for knit fabrics. You'll need a fabric which has at least 10% crosswise stretch, and then for your neckband you'll need a fabric which has around 50 or more percent stretch. So something like a ribbing fabric is perfect for your neckband. For my version, I used a cotton lycra jersey. I think I got this from B&M Fabrics in Leeds, but I can't 100% remember. I think it's a Little Johnny cotton jersey, and it's just super fun. So it's got exactly the stretch needed. It's a t-shirt weight fabric. I've then just used a black ribbing for the neckline. I've added this really cute label, which couldn't be more perfect, could it? This is a Sarah Hart's label from First for Fabrics. I sewed this up mostly on my overlocker, but I did use my normal machine with Maraflex thread to do my hems on my sleeve and at the waistline, and then I also did the top stitching around the neckband with Maraflex too. In terms of the sizing that I made then, so my measurements put me in to a size 8 for the bust and the hip and a size 4 for the waist. So just for reference, my measurements are 36.5 bust-ish, a 28-inch waist and a 38-inch hip. And that will just help you for reference throughout this video, I guess, when it comes to talking about the different sizes that I've made. So my measurements, like I said, put me in a size 8 for the bust and the hip, a size 4 for the waist, and I decided to go bang in the middle and make a size 6. Using the finished garment measurements, I was quite happy with the ease, and it's an oversized fit. I also usually have to do a broad shoulder adjustment on most patterns, but this is a dropped shoulder pattern, so I didn't feel the need to. So probably it doesn't have quite as much of a drop on the shoulder as the pattern is intended to have, but I'm all right with that. The pattern is also designed for somebody who is 5'5", and I'm just a smidge taller than that. I'm just shy of 5'6", so perhaps this has come up a little bit more cropped than, again, the pattern designer intended. But I really like where this is finishing on me. It's perfect with high-waisted jeans, which is what I wear a lot of the time, and you just get that little peak of tummy through, which I really like. So yes, I'm really happy with my Jessie tee. This was my entry into Sew Frugal, and I can't believe, you know, free patterns like this exist and you can make them with the smallest amounts of fabric. This really didn't take much fabric at all, so it feels like a super frugal make, and I'm really happy with it. And yes, I will be making more. I've got fabric lined up for another 2 or 3 at least. Next up, let's talk about the pattern that is here on my mannequin, and this is the Tilly and the Buttons Drew sweatshirt. This is my 4th version of this pattern now, and it's a one that I really love. So this pattern is a PDF and a printed pattern. You can get it in both formats, and it comes in sizes 6 to 34. So it is described as an easy fitting style with raglan seams, making for a speedy and satisfying sew. It's a perfect introduction to sewing with stretch knit fabrics. So if you're a beginner and you want to spread your wings and start sewing with knit fabric for the first time, this is a great introduction. You don't need an overlocker. The instructions talk you through how to use a standard sewing machine to sew this as well. So it is designed to be slightly oversized. It's got these raglan seams which come from the neckband out under the arms here. Then you've got your optional colour blocking. So obviously, as you can see, this is definitely a colour blocked version, and you've got lots of different pieces. You don't need to colour block all of these, so you don't need to have as many different fabrics as I have used, but this is what I wanted to go for. So you've got your front and your back bodice, you've got your upper sleeve, which is split into two. Let's see if you can turn around here. So you can see there the upper sleeve is split into two, then you've got a middle sleeve band, you've got this lower sleeve band, then also you've got your cuffs at the bottom and your hemband. So in terms of the size that I made, so I fall between a size 3 and a size 4 for tilling the buttons. So if you don't know, their size range goes from 1 to 15, which takes you from a UK 6 to 34. I fall between a 3 and a 4, which is between a UK 10 and a UK 12. I again looked at the finished garment measurements and decided I would be happy with the size 3. I didn't want that really oversized look. This is the cropped length. It does come in 2 different length variations. I've made the longer version once, and then I've made the cropped version 3 times, and I think I really like the cropped version the best. In terms of fabric that I've used then, so I picked up this fabric here, which is a See You at 6 French Terry from Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door. So she had a remnant sale back in January, I think it was, and she had like an extra discount code on her remnants as well. So I picked up an 80 centimeter remnant of that fabric, which I knew would be perfect for this pattern. So I've got the front and the back bodice out of it, as well as the lower sleeve section as well, which is fantastic. Then I actually took the fabric along to First for Fabrics when I was still working there. However, you could do this if you were just a customer as well. And I took it along to the Brushback French Terry range, and I tried to pick out colours that were in the fabric in the French Terry to pair it with. So I tried to match up some of the colours, and I think you'll agree I've done a pretty good job. So we've got this apricot sort of colour that matches up with this one. We've got this paler shade here, which matches up with my back sleeve piece. Then you've got this greeny colour, which I've matched with this here. Then it's all on a black background, which is why I've gone for the black ribbing as a contrast. And again, I used my overlocker to sew most of this up, and then I did use my Maraflex to top stitch the neckband down. I absolutely love this pattern and would recommend it to anyone. One thing I would just mention, however, is for the fabric recommendations, they are definitely over exaggerated. For example, the colour block version, on the back of the pattern packet, it says that you need for the front bodice 0.8 meters and for the back bodice 0.8 meters. Now you don't need 0.8 for the front and another 0.8 for the back, because you can get your front and your back out of the 0.8, and actually if you're making a smaller size you can get it out of much less than that. It just gives you the one quantity for all of the sizes. So bear that in mind. If you are making this for the first time, I would suggest actually cutting out your size and measuring your pattern pieces, because if you're going to be buying fabric, you don't want to end up with loads and loads left over. Although if you do have bits left over, you can use it for future colour blocked sweatshirts, I guess. Right, I think that's everything that I've got to say about this make, so let's move on to the next one, and that's going to be what I'm actually wearing on my bottom half. So I will stand up and share this with you in a moment, but the pattern that I made is the Cece joggers, and this is a pattern that I've had cut out for ages. This is my second version of the Cece joggers. I made them back when this pattern was first launched, and I just made the plain version of the joggers, but actually this time I've made the colour blocked one, so I'll stand up and share that with you. Again, it's a Tilly and the Buttons pattern that comes in sizes 6 to 34, and again you can buy this as a PDF or as a paper copy. I've got the PDF and I've had it printed. I always get questions about these booklets. I have mine printed at CLC Prints, and you can get these lovely spiral bound booklets to go with your pattern. And to be honest, they're not that expensive. I think it's £4 for your booklet, which I think is great value. In terms of the line drawings here, you can see the style of the joggers, and you can also make it as shorts, which I haven't done yet, but now the weather's getting warmer, I might actually do that. So it says they have a relaxed fit, mid-rise elasticated waistband with drawstring and a side panel with optional pockets. Whether you're working out, working from home, or just chilling, Cece lets you do it in me-made comfort and style. I'll stand up and show you. When it says mid-rise, I'm not entirely convinced they are mid-rise, or maybe it's just the way that I wear them, but I definitely think they're more of a high-rise, which is my preference anyway, so that's great for me. Sorry about the sunlight. So a couple of things to mention. As you can see, these are quite high up, so my belly button is there, and I've got these a good inch or so above my belly button. I've got the elastic going through here, and then this lovely drawstring. It's got little flecks of gold in it. I've done buttonholes. One thing on the buttonholes, so I used a bigger buttonhole than was recommended because of the width of my draw cord, but I didn't actually measure and get them central, so I've ended up with my elastic and my stitching that I've done to top stitch that elastic down not particularly even across this waistband. However, I'm not really bothered, to be honest. I haven't put pockets in this version, which I'll explain why in a moment, and I've gone for the side panel in 2 different colours, the green and the lilac, and then the rest of them are black. So the reason I didn't put pockets into these, when I first made the Cece's, I made them, like I said, for the launch date, and I made them just in one plain colour. I found the pocket construction quite fiddly and quite time consuming, and you know when you just want a quick win and you want, you know, the satisfaction of making something quite quickly, that's why I didn't put the pockets in these. However, it does give a really sleek look and I like that, but I do keep going to put my hands in my pockets and the pockets aren't there, so my hands just slip down, but it's fine, I can live with that. In terms of sizing, I made a straight size 3 again. My waist measurement falls into the size 3, my hip measurement falls in between a 3 and a 4, but again, the finished garment measurements, I knew there would be enough ease in the size 3 if I just made that, so I went for a straight size 3. The pattern's drafted for a height of 5'5". Again, I'm just a little bit over that, but I didn't adjust anything in terms of the length of these. The only thing I did do when it came to attaching the cuffs at the bottom, the Tilly and the Buttons seam allowance is a 5/8 seam allowance, but I attached the cuffs with a 1/4 inch seam allowance just to give me a smidge more length at the bottom. So I guess I kind of did adjust them, but nothing very technical. So I was actually finishing my Cece joggers off at around 10 o'clock on Sunday night, and I decided to film a little bit of what I was doing because I thought it was the perfect opportunity to share with you my Serious Lights in action. So this section of the video is sponsored by Serious Readers. So I'm just here working on my Cece joggers. I'm just at the point where I need to open up these buttonholes. So the light that you can see currently is just the main light in this room, and it's 10 o'clock at night, so obviously the lighting is quite poor. Excuse the shadows that we've got going on here as well. So I need to open up these buttonholes with my buttonhole chisel, but I'm a bit hesitant because of the black thread, the black fabric, and I don't want to break any of these stitches. So I'm going to pop on my Serious Lights to help me with this job, and I just wanted to show you the difference that they're going to make to this task. So I can bring those right in over the buttonholes. It's going to make it so much clearer. So now when I pick up my buttonhole chisel, I can see very clearly exactly where my stitches start and end. So that's the difference that these lights can make. It means that I can actually sew and do tasks like this at this time of night without risk of making an awful mistake. So hopefully that's just helped you to see how much of a difference the serious lights can make. So if you would like to add the serious lights to your sewing room or your crafting space, then you can use the code Tamlyn and you will get £150 off any of the lights in the high definition range, as well as free UK delivery. Thank you so much to Serious Readers for sponsoring this video. So I'm really happy with my finished Cece joggers, and I did want to show you that actually I made them to match an existing Drew sweatshirt. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this before. I didn't make it in March, so I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video, but this is my original Drew sweatshirt that I made these joggers to match. So you can see we've got the green and the lilac in there, which I never thought of as a colour combination, but I had these fabrics in my stash and I think they work so well together. You'll notice here I have got this white as part of my Drew sweatshirt. However, I didn't add any white onto my joggers. I could have added white cuffs and it would have matched the white cuffs on this one, but I just thought white cuffs so close to the floor could be quite, not dangerous, but risky, and they'd get quite mucky. So I decided to miss out the white on the joggers and just go for the green and the lilac. So yes, I'm really excited to wear this as a full lounge set. I think it'll be the perfect working from home outfit. So while we're on the topic of matching tracksuits, let's talk about a tracksuit that I made for our little boy, Taylor. So it was recently World Book Day, and the school that Taylor goes to said that they could either dress up as a character from a book or as a word, and Taylor's teacher very helpfully gave us some ideas of words that he could be. And I read these out to Taylor and he immediately said he wanted to be the word rainbow. Now, when I make Taylor something to wear for school as a special day, I want it to be something that he can wear again and again and again. And I don't like to make just like a costume that he'll hardly get any wear out of. So I decided to make him a rainbow tracksuit. I had 2 patterns already in my stash that I knew would be perfect. And I also had some fabric. So let's start with the sweatshirt. So this is the Rainbow Dolman sweatshirt by Lowland Kids. Lowland Kids patterns come in PDF only, and this sizing goes from newborn to age 9 and 10. So as you can see, it's a lovely sweatshirt with a slightly dropped shoulder, and the lovely feature is this rainbow stripe across the tummy area, and then you've got the same on the back. Now you can do a plain back if you prefer, but I decided to do the decorative panels on the front and the back. You can see that I've added this lovely rainbow cuffing. I got this from Andrea Beyond the Pink Door a while ago, and I think it's just the perfect touch. So I got this red fabric from Rainbow Fabrics when they had a recent French terry drop, so they sent this to me as an ambassador. Anytime that you want to get a discount from Rainbow Fabrics, you can use the code VIP Tamlyn. That will get you 20% off your order anytime. So the details of that will be down in the description box for you. So the red fabric is from there. Then I picked up the blue, the pink and the yellow from First for Fabrics. I actually took in the cuffing and decided to match up some of the colours. And then the neckband and the hemband are just red ribbing fabric. I decided to do rainbow overlocking thread on the inside, and then this lovely little label is from the Specky Seamstress. Taylor absolutely loves this. We'll pop some pictures in so you can see how happy he was with this outfit, and also the pattern matching on the side, which I was quite pleased with. So that is the sweatshirt, and then the trousers. So the trouser pattern is called the Retro Joggers, also by Lowland Kids. Again, the size range is newborn up to 9 and 10. So it's a simple joggers pattern, but there's some really cool detail added at the sides with some fun paneling. So you can see I've used the same red fabric for most of the joggers. I've used the rainbow cuffing at the ankles, and then I've added red ribbing at the top, but some really fun fabrics to make the paneling at the side. So I've used the blue and the pink again from the sweatshirt, and then I had this incredible rainbow tie-dye French terry in my stash. I had half a metre of it that I bought from somewhere, I can't remember where, and I thought that would just make the most fun paneling down the side. And yeah, sure enough, Taylor loves that. I used this rainbow draw cord again from First for Fabrics, and I popped on this incredible label from Cozy Club Handmade, which says "Wear me with pride," and he certainly did. He looked amazing, and I think he felt amazing in this outfit. It was just perfect for him. And then a couple of weeks later, he got to wear it all over again because it was Red Nose Day, comic relief, and they had to wear something red for school. So he got to wear that again and wear it with pride. So yes, I was really happy with that tracksuit for Taylor. Hopefully that'll last him for a while. I think I made it in a size 5, and he is going to be 5 in July. So it should last him for a few months, hopefully. Right, we're getting there. This is quite a long video, isn't it? Sorry if the lighting keeps changing. I'm just battling with the sunlight coming in through the windows and trying to get rid of the light beams that are shining on different places. So let's now talk about this make, which is the Style Arc Hope woven dress. So yes, I have made this now 4 times, but I'm still not sick of it. I absolutely love it. So as I said, this is a pattern by Style Arc. You can get this as a paper version or as a PDF. You can buy it in a single size or a multi-size range. So the sizing on the pattern goes from a size 4 up to a size 30. So there's a really great size range on this one. And in terms of what it's described as, it is an easy fit slip-on dress. It's a high waistline. It's got a deep raglan sleeve. It has elastic around the sleeve, and the sleeve has some volume in it, which is really nice. It says that the sleeve length is 7/8. I feel like it's a little bit shorter than that, but that might just be me. It fastens with a loop and a button back at the back of the neck, but I'll come to that a little bit later. And you can choose from either a knee-length skirt or a midi-length skirt. There is also an expansion pack for this where you can have different sleeve options and different bodice options, but I haven't gone for that yet. I just have the original Hope woven dress pattern. So this fabric is one that I have had in my stash for so long. It's a beautiful viscose from Rainbow Fabrics from about 5 years ago, so it's no longer available, but I've held on to this for so long because I didn't know what to make with it. And the great thing about the Hope dress is there's not many seam lines in it, so it's a great canvas for showing off a really fabulous print. I did think about the pattern placement on the front and kind of where I wanted these tigers to be to show them off. The colours in it are just fabulous, and yeah, I just love the print so much. I've made the Hope dress now in viscose 3 times and in a cotton once, and I love all versions, but with the viscose you do get that lovely flowy look, which is great. This is the knee length version, and I love both versions to be honest, but I was really happy that I chose the knee length version for this one. It does have pockets in. I do the pocket construction slightly differently to the instructions because I just do it the really simple way rather than the slightly more complicated way in the pattern instructions. It does give a nice finish, but I don't actually think in this garment it really makes a difference doing it just the simple way where you attach a pocket to the front skirt and then sew it all the way around. Doesn't make a difference. They sit really nicely anyway. So yeah, I'm all for doing things the easy way. So let's get on to the back. In my other versions, I've done, as the pattern instructs, the keyhole opening at the back with a little button and loop, but it actually takes quite a while to do that and it's a little bit fiddly. When you can actually get the dress on over your head, what is the point? So with this one, I did cut 2 separate back bodice pieces out, which is what you have to do to then create your keyhole opening. And the facing at the back you cut in 2 pieces as well. But then I remembered I could get it on over my head, so I've now got that seam line down the back when I don't actually need it. So next time I'm just going to cut the back pattern piece out on the fold, and it'll not disrupt the print either, which is even better. So I just joined the facing at the back as well, and yeah, it slips on easily over my head, no problem. I added a lovely label to the back here, which is a Cozy Club handmade label saying cats are my favourite people, and I just thought that was a perfect match because obviously we've got the big cats on here. I've got my elastic in the cuffs. I think I use slightly wider elastic than they instruct you to, but I prefer that. I think it's more comfortable and gives a really nice finish. And yes, just another fabulous dress. I wore this at the Stitch Festival, felt brilliant in it, had lots of compliments, which is always nice. It's such a comfortable thing to wear, such an easy thing to throw on, just a dress, pair of tights if it's a bit cold, and you're good to go. In terms of the size that I make on this pattern, I make a straight size 10. My measurements pretty much fall into the size 10 across the board, except the waist. I'm sort of in between an 8 and a 10, but it's nice and loose and roomy anyway, so I didn't think it mattered. I wasn't going to bother grading. So yeah, I make a size 10 and I'm really happy with that sizing. So yes, my 4th Hope dress. It won't be my last one because I love it so much. So yeah, it's definitely a tried and tested now that I will continue to make, because I think in different fabrics it looks totally different anyway, and like I said, perfect pattern to show off a really beautiful print. Let's get on to the final makes of March, and the makes that I am the most proud of. They're possibly my favourite makes of all time, or a couple of them anyway. Yeah, they're definitely up there. I am really happy with these makes. I talked about in my plans video the fact that I was going to be walking the catwalk at the Stitch Festival for Friday Pattern Company, and I had in my mind that I wanted to make a Clueless inspired suit using the Heather blazer pattern and the Bernadette skirt, because I had seen this most fabulous fabric at First for Fabrics and I just knew that it was going to make the perfect suit. So I chatted to First for Fabrics. This was just as I was actually leaving working there, and I shared my idea with them and they said they were happy to provide the fabric for this project. So that was incredible. So should we talk about the skirt first? Here is the skirt. This is the Bernadette skirt. So this pattern comes in the Friday Pattern Company full size range of extra small up to 7X. It comes in 2 different lengths, so mini and midi. I've made the mini version. It's the 2nd time I've made it. I haven't had a go at the midi version. I'm not sure it would be my style, but I love this mini version. It's described as a party in a skirt, pleated in the front, so you can see the pleats here, and darted in the back, which gives a lovely shaping. Plus, store your treasures in style with a super fun belt bag. You'll see that on the photographs. I have forgotten to bring it upstairs with me to film this video, but I did make the belt bag in just a plain black canvas fabric because I thought that would stand out really nicely against this print. The belt is closed with D-rings and the bag features a zipper pocket, front pouch and flap. So yes, I love the little belt bag. The only thing is it doesn't fit my phone in. Great for putting like money in and things like that, or cards, but it doesn't fit my phone in, which is a little bit annoying. I could just size it up a little bit to be able to fit my phone in future. I added a cute little button from Becky's Sewing Studio, which I thought just matched really nicely. It's a little heart-shaped button. And the belt actually has come in really useful, because when I made this skirt, I should have sized down, I think, to a small. So I made the medium and it's a little bit loose around the top. I think I like to wear it a little bit higher than perhaps the pattern designer intended it to sit. I wear it really high-waisted. So it is actually loose around the top, but it fastens with an invisible zip at the side here. And then you put the belt bag on and you can really cinch it in and just kind of spread out the gathers around the top. So it wasn't a problem. You know, I still felt really comfortable in it, and I guess it allows for maybe a bit of bloating or whatever throughout the day. But yes, I think next time I make this skirt I will actually size down to a small. So yeah, not much more to say about the skirt. The skirt is unlined. You can see this fabric is just a really beautiful cerise and black houndstooth fabric, which is just fabulous. I love it. It's real 90s vibes. I did get a lot of fraying, which you do with this style of fabric, so the hoover was out quite a few times, but I just made sure that I overlocked the edges of my pattern pieces as soon as I could before I was working with them to reduce the fraying that was happening. The only thing with the Bernadette skirt, and maybe it's with other skirts with an invisible zip, I never think I get this top bit quite right, because there's always like a little gap, and I know I could put a hook and eye on there, but the pattern doesn't tell you to do that. So I just wonder if I'm doing something a little bit wrong, because I am left with a slight gap at the top. But again, the belt bag covers that up, so it's not a problem. I did make a big old error with this skirt, so just, you know, putting my hands up, admitting my mistakes. When it came to attaching the back and the front, it's quite difficult to tell the right and the wrong side of this fabric, but there is a definite right and wrong side. And actually when it came to attaching my back and my front together, I attached one of the pieces the wrong way around. I then carried on and attached my waistband and like the waistband facing, sorry, and I understitched everything and, you know, overlocked the edge and everything. And then I realised that actually this front panel, this front part was inside out because the back of the pleats were showing. I then had to do a lot of unpicking, a lot. I thought it had been going really, really well and I'd been making fantastic progress, and then yeah, I had to do a lot of unpicking to correct it. But again, my serious lights came in an absolute treat unpicking this fabric. Yeah, they really helped with that process. And then should we move on to the blazer? So the Heather blazer is an unstructured modern blazer. It's described as comfortable and stylish with a slightly oversized fit, which can be worn in all seasons. The perfect editorial layering piece. So it's designed to be approachable for a beginner sewist, which is amazing. And if you've always wanted to dip your toe into making outerwear but felt intimidated, it's a great place to start. So the sizing on this one again goes from an extra small to a 7X, and you can get this as a paper pattern or a PDF. This is a pattern that I have actually wanted to make for a while, but I was never actually sure if it was my style. I'm really pleased that I had this opportunity to make it for the Stitch Festival because I love this make. I really enjoyed the process of making this actually. So here is my Heather blazer. So I haven't actually washed or ironed this since I got back from the Stitch Festival, so it does need a little bit of a press, but I'm thrilled with this jacket. I really enjoyed the process of making this. I spent like a full week making this outfit and it was quite intense, but I really enjoyed making something like this. It's different to anything I've ever made before. The fabric isn't the easiest to press just because of the type of fabric it is. It did require quite a lot of heat, and therefore I did need to use my pressing cloth because I didn't want to damage the fabric. I've just lined this with a plain black lining fabric, again from First for Fabrics. The process of hemming it, I did end up with some little tucks in my lining, but when I spoke to Ruan and Rachel, they said that's very normal and it usually always happens. So I just made sure that I kind of pushed the tucks into where the seam lines were on the inside so they were less noticeable. But yes, I couldn't be happier with this. I did some pattern matching. I tried to match my side seams and things, and although it's not 100% perfect, when I was walking the catwalk, Wendy, who was doing the announcements for the catwalk, praised me on my pattern matching, so I was really happy with that. So yes, it's amazing how clothing can make you feel, because I felt so confident and so powerful in that outfit, and the fact that I was getting some amazing compliments from people at the Stitch Festival and people coming up to me to compliment me on it, yeah, it just made me feel great, if I'm honest. In terms of sizing, I made a straight size medium on that. I'm really glad that actually about a week before I was going to start sewing it, I saw somebody post on Instagram their version, and they were a very similar build and sort of size to me, and they had made a medium because previously I'd been thinking of sizing down to a small, and I'm really glad I didn't, because I wouldn't want this to be any smaller than it is. I think it's the perfect amount of oversized. So yeah, just making that blazer has given me confidence, and it's made me want to tackle some more tricky projects in future, and also just be a little bit more daring with the things that I make and a bit more bold. So yes, expect to see some more bold things coming in future. This has been a very long video. Thank you if you stuck with me for the whole thing, and I hope you've enjoyed hearing about all of the things I sewed up in the month of March. Do let me know down below which of those makes is your favourite. Just to say, I did make a matching BF Patterns Bestie bag for my blazer and skirt suit, but I'm not going to talk you through that because I've talked about the Bestie bag a few times now, but you'll see it from the photographs, and yeah, I was really happy with that as well. So yes, thank you so much for watching today. Let me know down below which one of those makes has been your favourite, and if you don't subscribe to my channel, please do. It'll be amazing to have you here, and thank you again for watching. I hope you're all doing really well, and I'll see you again soon in my next video. Happy sewing, bye! On my neckband and on the hemband as well, not the hemband. So I sewed up, whether you're working out from home, a pocket to the back skirt, a